Today, I'm going to speak with you about coaching yourself through stress. Stress is something we all experience. It can provide difficult emotional and physical reactions that have a consequence on our day-to-day life. Finding and creating strategies that help you manage your stress has a positive impact to our overall well-being. I'm going to dive into some of the ways you can be your own coach to engage with your stress in new ways. It will be important to have a journal or pen and paper to write things down throughout this video. It's also important that you have uninterrupted time to watch this video, and ideally, I'd recommend being in a quiet space so that you can remove unnecessary distractions and additional environmental stressors. This video focuses on something important. Coaching yourself through stress is not about just knowing you're stressed. It's about what you choose to do and how you choose to be. I've created a process to help walk through what this means, and we will walk through this together. After each step and throughout the process, there will be pauses in the video to allow you to write them down and make any notes about anything that is arising for you. So first, recognize what is causing you stress. Are you having a difficult experience with a colleague? Are you stressed about an upcoming presentation you have to do at work? Did you have a difficult conversation with a family or friend? Whatever it is, acknowledge the stressor. Now take out that pen and paper and write down step 1. Recognize and acknowledge the stressor. Second, once you've identified the stressor, acknowledge your feelings about it. How do you feel towards your colleague? How do you feel about the presentation? How do you feel towards your family or friend? Emotions can be challenging to engage with, especially ones labeled as bad, such as anger, disappointment, and sadness. There are no such thing as bad emotions. They are all providing us with useful information about what we need and what we value. Return back to your pen and paper and write down step 2. Write down how you are feeling about the stressor. Third, now that you're aware of what is causing you stress and how you're feeling about that incident or person related to the stressor, you have an opportunity to take actions from a more mindful and engaged place. Here are some considerations. Will your behavior change with your colleagues? How have your views changed on that presentation you have coming up? Will you approach your work activities differently? Return back to your paper and write down step 3. What actions am I taking that are different than before? 4. Part of taking actions from a more mindful and engaged place is to engage in mindful practices. Try saying that 5 times fast. No, please don't. For this video, I will focus on a breathing technique called the 4x4 breathing. To begin, get in a comfortable seated or standing position. Gently inhale through your nose to a slow count of 4, filling your stomach with air. Hold at the top of the breath for a count of 4. Then gently exhale through your mouth for a count of 4, releasing whatever stress you're holding onto. At the bottom of the breath, pause and hold for the count of 4. This process is one cycle. I'm going to walk you through it once more in real time so that you get a feeling of how it feels in your body and what the rhythm is like. So again, get in a comfortable seated or standing position. Gently inhale through your nose to a slow count of 4, filling your stomach with air. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the top of the breath, hold for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then gently exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the bottom of the breath, pause and hold for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, that process is one cycle. I recommend when you're practicing that you run through the sequence at least 10 times. The fifth and final step. Now we are at the point where we're going to continue to be with yourself. The stress won't necessarily be completely gone, but you have awareness about where it's coming from and you've taken some actions to coach yourself through it. As you continue to be in your day-to-day life, there are some important things to take note of. Notice your judgment. Are you judging your emotions? Are you judging your thoughts? Are you judging others? Are you judging circumstances causing stress? Rather than focus on the judgments arising, go back to how you're feeling about the stressor and return to the actions you can take to engage with the stress. Notice how you are with setting boundaries. How are you with boundary setting with colleagues, family, friends, and with yourself? The more you can stick to the practices you have given yourself to manage stress and not drop them despite other priorities coming up, the less the stress you are experiencing the less the stress you're experiencing is going to get in the way in your life. Notice if you've done something to practice self-care. Self-care practices can be daily, weekly, sometimes they're monthly. The easier you make it to have something that can be more regular, the more it will support you to feel less stressed. Self-care practices mean different things to everyone. For some, it's about having that delicious cup of hot chocolate as a midday break. For others, it's taking a long walk on the beach. Whatever your self-care activity is, figure out what that means to you and what makes you feel the most nourished, and build that into your routines. I hope these tools and strategies help you coach yourself through stress.